What's up, you guys, man? This is Mental Regular Podcast, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank y'all for being here today. If you watch on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you are listening on Spotify, hit that bell so you get notified every time that I drop a video. I want to talk about something today, man, and it's gonna tug at some heartstrings, man. You may have to get some tissue, and I may even have to take a moment. So let's be raw with each other. Let's be real raw, transparent, and everything with each other. Fathers are so important, not just to society, but to their children, specifically the boys. So for a boy, he looks at his father as Superman. That's how normally you look at your father, Superman, a hero, a person you want to be like. Sometimes you even act like you are him. Like, for myself personally, I used to act like I'm selling insurance or something like that, because that's what my dad did. So stuff like that. And then you grow older and you're looking at him, and he sees some of him in you, and you don't really see it, of course not, because you're not looking at it like that. But the older you get, the more and more you start to realize how much of your father you start to become. The older you get. But then comes a time in your life where you look back and you're like, wow, the impact that I watched a father have on his sons it could be tremendous, or it could break them, depending on how strong they are. Depending on how strong you are, your relationship with your father can make or break your life. And as the older we get, we start realizing that they're getting older, and there comes a time and a point where you may not be able to talk to them again. But it's all about relationship. It's not about blood. And I'm realizing that more and more. The older I get, the more I start living life. You start realizing that it's about relationship, not blood. It's about the way y'all communicate. Even when you get older, the love that a father has shouldn't change. It shouldn't be like, oh, you older now, so it's up to you to make sure that the relationship keeps going. That's some of the most, I'm going to say it, that's some bullshit. It is. It's some bull. No, it's not up to the child to keep the relationship going. You're always going to be the parent, and I'm always going to be the child. So why would that change because I got older? It's kind of like you throw them away or something like that. It should be on the both of us to keep the relationship going. And I literally have watched fathers go step for step with their child. Have Father and Sundays. And I've watched it, and I watched how the impact of that father. It wasn't about the riches. It wasn't about the money. It's the spending time in the relationship. Because that relationship was built up over time and it was established early on. There was deposits made that cashed out later on down the road. And that is a beautiful thing because it's not about money. It's the relationships. Fathers are super important to their sons. Super important. Reason being, they get you on track. They hold you accountable. They allow you to step into your fullest potential. They allow you to make sometimes bad decisions so that they can correct it. They'll give you the advice and then they'll let you make your own decision. But I have watched a father be so patient with their child. I watched a father sacrifice so much for their child. I'm really just going off the cuff here, man, when I say that having the right relationship with your father is probably one of the most beneficial things that you can do as an adult. And when you don't have the right relationship with your father, it's one of those where you got to be mentally strong enough to be able to overcome that. A lot of people are not mentally strong enough to be able to overcome that. That's why it's super important that you try to keep that relationship right. You try to salvage it. But if it's not salvageable, you got to make sure that you're mentally strong enough not to make the same mistakes that he made. And always communicate with your child, because you just never know what they're going through. You should always reach out and see. You want them to be thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them. Well, why don't you show that you're thinking about them? It's such a terrible narrative that your son or your kids got to keep the relationship once they get grown. Like at 18, they stop being your child. If that's the case, then I'm going to call you by your name then. I don't give you the respect as father no more. I call you by your government issue. You feel what I'm saying? So if nothing changes, then why does that change? It's like you're trying to leave it up to somebody. So that's why it's such a beautiful thing when you watch a real relationship between a father and a son, and how it's not money based. It's not based off of what you've done for me. It's based off of genuine love and connection and want to. Not based off of gifts and money and things like that, because that's not what you're doing it for. Anything I've ever done for someone, I don't bring it back up to throw it in their face, because I didn't do it for that. I did it because either you needed help or you know what I'm saying, you just needed it. You understand? You just needed it. And I'm the type, you know what? I got you. I'm not finna bring up the fact, oh yeah, later years down. Remember how you gonna do this to me? I helped you. I did this for you. I did that for you. I did this. Then you did it so you can tally it up on me. Not because you did it out of genuineness and kindness of your heart. You don't have to remind somebody what you've done for them. I think that's one of the most oversold things. You don't have to remind somebody what you've done for them. They know. And I just want to say, while I'm wrapping this up, shout out to all the great fathers out there. Every last one of you. Shout out to the ones that understands that even when you get grown, nothing changes. That it's not on one side to call the other. That it's not on one side to keep the relationship going. Shout out to those fathers. And I just want to send a special condolences out to my best friend Bryce, man. And he inspired me. Him and his dad's relationship inspired me. They inspired me to do this, you know, watching their relationship, watching how beautiful it was. He just lost his father, man, and you know, I just wanted to pay tribute to great fathers because that man was a great father, man, and I know my dog is down, and you know, I'm here for him, man, you know, through it all. And they inspired me. Their relationship inspired me to when I have a son one day to do what they did, you know. And I just want to thank all you guys for tuning in today. And appreciate y'all. Until next time, Mental Awakening Podcast. Peace.